Spotlight with Fatima was at the recent MUSON opera performance where they gave stage scenes from different operas through the eras. Walk with me as I ask performers what roles they will be playing tonight.
I'll be playing the role of Rahul in the opera L'Orignon by Giacomo Meyerbeer.
I'll be playing the role of Valentine.
Okay.
It's from a French opera by Giacomo Meyerbeer.
I'll be playing Guglielmo from Così fan
So I'll be
tutte.
playing the role of Despina from the opera Così fan tutte. I'm playing the role of Fior Delige in Così fan tutte by Mozart.
I'll be playing the role of Calaf from the opera Turandot by Giacomo Puccini.
I'm going to be playing the role of the sorcerer in Didos and Aenas by Henry Purcell.
How mean were you?
It took me to another dimension because having to be in character,
Yeah.
really, like, I had to practice how to be really mean because I have to summon these two mischievous witches. You know what I mean? To really work with them. But then I'm already pretty much ready.
I'll be playing the role of the second witch
Ooh.
in the cave scene from Didos and Agnes by Henry Purcell.
Should we be afraid?
Well, you should. I'm a witch.
I played Frau Mary in the opera by Wagner, the Fliegenden Holländer. That's the Flying Dutchman. I was like the mistress, the head of all the maidens. Like I'm their madame, basically.
How did it feel coming off of that opera?
Uh, um, I feel fulfilled. Yeah.
Okay,
I
nice.
feel fulfilled and relieved actually from all the rehearsals.
I can imagine.
Yeah, a lot of work went into it. So, and I am very, very proud to be a part of this.
That was a wonderful performance up there.
Thank you very much.
How did you feel about that?
All right, so I'm very happy. The performance was really good. It was quite good. Much more than my expectations. Yes, and my role was Marcel. Well, it was not easy getting into that role, but with the help of the director, everything went on smoothly. Right.
Okay.
So my role is about the manservant of something like a prince.
Okay.
Yeah. His name is Raoul. So I'm like his guide. I'm like his mentor and all of that. And I'm just supposed to be like his father figure,
Okay.
quote unquote.
So you are an older person.
Yes, I'm an older person.
Nice.
So, but I was happy to see that he found a woman that accepted Protestantism, right? So we are like the Huguenot, the Protestants and stuff like that. So it was really nice. I really enjoyed myself.
That is
I
awesome.
really enjoyed
Congratulations. Can you describe your role briefly?
Okay, so I was given the role Zenta. So Zenta is like the daughter of a pirate. So okay, first of all, the opera is the Flying Dutchman. That is the Fliegende Holländer.
Correct.
So the part we played was the scene of where Zinta is like fantasizing about the Flying Dutchman,
That's right.
and that's
That
it.
is awesome.
It was Puggy and Bess, and I played the role of Serena. So she had to take care of a child that the mother died. It was a great one, being part of this show.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Very nice.
Hi,
Congratulations on your role.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the opera.
Absolutely, totally enjoyed it.
Good.
Your character was a very compelling one.
Yes.
How did you manage that role?
Well, I have to see myself inside. I have to actually play the role. If you have to play the role well, you have to be the role.
Yeah.
So I had to go through some series of training with the director. They were teaching me the character, the text, then the music itself.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But it's I think it's a similar role to personality anyway, because Surrendered is quite demanding and she's bent on no. If I know if I can't give myself up for any man like that.
Yeah.
So I saw a little of it in myself.
In yourself.
So,
Well,
yes,
that's
yes.
really amazing. Because how can you describe your character briefly, and what was the role of your character in helping in developing that plot?
Okay, so Don Alfonso is an elderly man who has seen life and is a cynical and skeptical man. So he hatches a plan to show that women are not faithful, and then he bribes a maid, the spinner, to make sure that she allows the certain men that he'll bring in. So throughout the entire work, he's skeptical, cynical, observing things, just pulling the strings, trying to make sure that these women fall. And even though we did not get to show it,
Yes.
it's successful. So he's like a master planner. He sees it before it happens. It's that kind of guy.
That's interesting. Did you think that you in your personal life you're a master planner, or you were
Oh,
just
actually,
practicing?
I'm a bit similar to Don Alfonso in terms of mannerisms, and so I found it quite easy
to fit into the role?
Okay, so I sang the role of Valentine from the French opera by Giacomo Meyerbeer called Les Ignores. It's a French opera, a love story basically, about a young woman who was so much in love with a man called Raoul. But they were from different yes,
denominations.
yeah, exactly. So the Raoul was a Protestant while Valentine was a Catholic. So they were at war, which means they couldn't be together.
Right.
I mean, so they needed to be in the same church to actually get married. But of course, love conquers all.
Absolutely.
They fought to the end. I mean, you saw where it landed them, but oh well.
I loved how your character progressed or developed from the initial stage to the final stage. How were you able to fit into those different characters, those different emotions?
Well, it was practice. I had a lot of practice because I mean that was all fiction. It's not real, so it took a lot of practice to actually get that. And with the help of my director, John Eklu, I was able to fit in. And then, of course, I'm somebody who loves, I don't know, tragic stories. So it was quite easy for me to do those transitions.
Tell me about the opera that you were in tonight, and just a little story about the role that you played.
I acted as Massanjira. It's a party scene, so everybody's already in the wedding, and then I got the information that the bride has died. So I came to tell the sad news to everybody.
What was your relationship with?
The bride. Yes, I'm one of her companions in Love You.
That's amazing because you really conveyed the emotions in that. Congratulations, Eklo.
Thank you very
much. That was
much.
wonderful. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
I would just like to understand how you were able to put those operas together.
Seven scenes. Yeah, seven scenes.
So
yeah.
What was the inspiration? What informed your choices?
Okay, so I wanted to do like a storytelling, like a historical music telling,
right.
Or like a musical storytelling.
Yep.
From the Renaissance to the 20th century. So I started from the very earliest of operas, which is Monteverdi's L'Orfeo, up to Gershwin. So I decided to not just do the storytelling, but also choose some specific languages. So we have for L'Orfeo, we have Italian. So we go to England, which we did Purcell, and then we go to, of course, we go to Germany, but Mozart is still in Italian, and then we went to France to do the Meyerbeer, which is Les Nord, and then to Wagner to Germany, of course, because Wagner is a very prominent figure in opera. Yeah. In addition to doing like storytelling, musical storytelling through opera, I also decided to choose composers that have significantly impacted in opera. So if you see Monteverdi, of course, who you can't take away from the history of opera. Exactly. So and then you go to England, where Purcell is like, in the Baroque era, where he's basically the only composer in England who wrote a good opera. And then we go to, of course, we can't take Mozart out of opera because he has a huge contribution to the repertoire of opera. And then we go to the French Grand Opera, where you can't take away Giacomo Meyerbeer from the French Grand Opera. And then we now go to Germany, where we have Wagner, and so on. And then Puccini, of course, which you cannot escape. If you're doing opera, you can't escape. Exactly. And then we now go to Gershwin, to America, by doing the Porgy and Bess. So it was a good it was fun to do for me personally.
Did you think there was a theme tying all of the scenes together? Did you think of that while you're picking the choice of what to do?
Yes, definitely. So I didn't just want to have like all solos or just all choruses, but at the same time I tried to touch as many subject matter in opera as possible. So for the first one, of course, the legendary Orfeo and Eurydice, of course. And then we go to
love story,
and then we go to the mythology, where we did Dido and Aeneas, and then we go to your comic in the Mozart by doing the Così fan tutte, and then we go to something a little bit more serious and more edge, by doing the Meyerbeer, and then we now go to something a little bit more light from the Flying Dutchman, but we chose a scene where just ladies would be in, to sort of bring down the whole tension from the Meyerbeer. And then we now have to go to something more serious by doing Turandot, which is something quite heavy as well. And then we now round up with something a little bit more freestyle and jazzy.
That was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
If you ask me, that was really, really brilliant.
Thank you very much.
And you had a large team. How did you manage with that size? How did you manage with that much singers coming playing different roles?
Of course. Well, here in Nigeria, we have good singers.
Absolutely.
We definitely do have good singers. Yourself, and many of us, we have good singers. But I also did an audition at the beginning of the year so right now we have like a group already who would be performing all the operatic performances for the year 2023 up to 2024. So we did an open call audition, and people came around and we auditioned them, and then I saw one or two people that I felt could do certain things, and they're like, okay, you can do this role, you can do this, you can do that. Yeah. So it was
you were able to find singers that were suitable for each of the roles.
For each of the roles.
That were appropriate for all of the
Indeed.
roles. That is fantastic.
Indeed. And at the same time, it was a lot of work working with them one-on-one to ensure that they get what I was looking for.
Exactly.
But we are never there, but we're getting
gradually.
there.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much for putting all of this together.